Distinguished guests, it is the Chinese tradition to celebrate the Chinese New Year by tossing yisang, in the hopes for a prosperous and happy New Year.
那接下来呢，就请大家一起站起来，准备好您手中的筷子，一起参与我们的捞生仪式。
We will now invite all distinguished guests to rise for yisang tossing.
大家准备好了吗？好的，我们开始，3、2、1，一帆风顺，双喜临门，三阳开泰，四季平安，五福临门，六六大顺，七星报喜。 八面玲珑，九九同心，十全十美。
Let's toss the yisang as high as we can. Hega, over,
花的！所以呢，我们祈愿一整年风生水起，越捞越旺。 好的，我们现在有请各位来宾就座。
And we now invite all distinguished guests to be seated. Thank you.
位来宾，马来西亚中华总商会中总成立于1921年7月2号，目前拥有直接和间接的会员总数超过11万名，代表马来西亚华人公司、商家以及各行业的团体。中总一直致力于扮演政商沟通桥梁的角色，协助会员商家开拓更大的合作市场。 引领工商界不断创新和改进，实现共商共赢的目标。那放眼在新的一年，钟总将继续带领工商界参与及推动国家的建设和经济的发展。
That's right. The Associated Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry of Malaysia, ACCCIM, was established on the 2nd of July, 1921. Currently, it has more than 110,000 direct and indirect members, representing Chinese businesses, traders, and various industry players in Malaysia. ACCCIM has consistently been dedicated to play the key role as a bridge between the government and the business sector, helping its members in exploring a wider market for cooperation, inspiring the business sector to continuously develop and improve, and achieve the goal of mutual cooperation and win-win solutions. In the coming new year, ACCCIM will continue to serve as a catalyst for the business sector to engage and support national and regional construction and economic growth.
各位来宾，接下来让我们以热烈的掌声，恭请马来西亚中华总商会总会长拿督胡一平致欢迎词。
We'd like to invite Yang Berbahagia Datuk Ng Yiping, President of the Associated Chinese Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Malaysia, ACCIM, to deliver his welcoming remarks.
Terima kasih saudara dan saudari pengacara majlis. Selamat tengah hari. Salam Malaysia Madani. Good afternoon. 大家中午好. Yang berhormat Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, Perdana Menteri Malaysia. Yang berhormat Ahli Jemaah Menteri. Yang berhormat Timbalan-Timbalan Menteri. 中华人民共和国 驻马来西亚特命全权大使欧阳义靖阁下 ，Your Excellencies, Heads of Foreign Diplomatic Missions in Malaysia, anggota ACCCIM dan NCCIM, anggota Dewan Perniagaan dan Perindustrian, rakan-rakan media, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang saya hormati sekalian. Salam sejahtera kepada semua yang saya hormati. Dengan penuh rasa bangga, saya mewakili ACCCIM mengucapkan selamat datang kepada Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, semua tetamu berhormat dan hadirin sekalian. Terima kasih kerana sudi hadir untuk memeriahkan sambutan Tahun Baharu Cina ACCCIM 2025. Pada hari ke-6 Tahun Baharu Cina ini, izinkan saya mengucapkan新年快乐, 恭喜发财 kepada semua. Semoga tahun ulang ini membawa kita semua keberkatan, kebahagiaan dan kejayaan yang berpanjangan. Kami di ACCCIM dan Komuniti Perniagaan merasa amat berbesar hati dengan dedikasi Perdana Menteri dan barisan kabinet yang komited dalam melaksanakan berbagai plan strategik dan transformasi. Usaha ini penting untuk memastikan Malaysia terus maju dan berdaya saing di pentas dunia. Saya percaya bahawa dengan hala tuju yang jelas dan usaha sama yang kukuh antara sektor awam dan swasta, kita mampu mencapai matlamat ekonomi negara dan memastikan Malaysia terus berada di landasan kejayaan yang gemilang. Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri, izinkan saya berucap dalam bahasa Inggeris. On behalf of ACCCIM, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all guests, and I wish you all a happy and prosperous Chinese New Year. ACCCIM is committed to continue supporting and working closely with the government and its agencies by providing constructive feedback on the ground to ensure the public policies rolled out would sustain the economy on a strong track and business vitality, as well as improve the well-being of the people. We look forward to a new era for Malaysia filled with full opportunities and growth. Businesses want clarity and consistency in public policies, and it is vital to maintain pro-business policies that are pragmatic and progressive, fostering a secure and conducive environment for investors and for businesses to strive. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a sense of cautious optimism for this year's economic outlook and business conditions. The preliminary findings of ACCCIM survey show that over 30% of the respondents anticipate better economic and business prospects for 2025, higher than below 20% for year 2024. Higher operating costs, cash flow problems, and increase in prices of raw materials were ranked as key factors affecting business performance. Increasing business cost pressures that are due mainly to changes in government policy reforms and regulatory requirements. Domestic businesses, manufacturers, and exporters have to brace for the disruptive trade and economic policy in the external business environment. Malaysia should also guard against complacency due to the potential impacts of new trade policies implemented by major economies. The business community hopes the government will support businesses, especially the micro, small, and medium enterprises, in navigating through the challenges. This includes some forms of export credit scheme to domestic SMEs, reduce import duties on raw materials, assist in exploring new export markets, and diversified supply chains. Malaysia's signing of a comprehensive economic partnership agreement with the United Arab Emirates can serve as a conduit to build more trade partners in the Middle Eastern countries. Malaysia's resumption of negotiations for the Malaysia-European Union Free Trade Agreement will strengthen economic ties with the European Union. Ladies and gentlemen, the process of economic and subsidy reform must be gradual to avoid disruption to market and businesses. Of particular concern is that Tenaga Nasional Berhad has announced that the base electricity tariff for Peninsular Malaysia will be raised by 14.2% under the regulatory period 4 between 2025 and 2027, and it is proposed to be implemented starting 1st July 2025. The rise in electricity costs will have domino effects on the whole supply chain, potentially passing through onto consumer inflation. Given the bunching of additional operating costs, we sincerely urge the government to maintain electricity tariff at current level throughout 2025 and 2026. This is to ease the financial burden on business and mitigate inflationary pressures from the increased operating costs. Additionally, we hope the government would reconsider the proposed mandatory EPF contribution for the non-PR foreign worker and to exempt employers from this requirement. This measure can cause an additional financial burden on employers who have already grappling with rising goods costs in the current challenging business environment. Ladies and gentlemen, ACCCIM remains positive about Malaysia's investment prospect and will play a key role in fostering economic cooperations, promoting business collaborations, and networking between Malaysians and foreign businesses. I'm pleased to announce that on 16 January, ACCCIM, Singapore Chinese Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and United Overseas Bank have entered into a landmark memorandum of understanding. This strategic partnership is designed to boost cross-border business collaborations and investment opportunities, particularly in the Johor-Singapore Special Economic Zone, JSSEZ, and of course, Southeast Asia. The JSSEZ amplifies Malaysia's commitment to regional integrations, and as the ASEAN chair in 2025, a robust support from the private sector, including industry and chambers, is crucial to deepen strategic economic collaborations and forge business partnership within the ASEAN framework. We also welcome the government initiative to host the ASEAN-China Gulf Cooperation Council Summit in 2025. This summit is set to unleash immense potential for multilateral cooperations across sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, realizing our vision to build a better Malaysia of shared prosperities requires a collective effort from various stakeholders. ACCCIM pledged its unwavering commitment to play a vital bridge between the business community and the government while prioritizing the needs and interests of local businesses. 各位来宾，辞旧迎新送金龙，借富纳祥迎银蛇。在这吉祥的春节里，我祝愿我们热爱的祖国马来西亚继续在首相安华的英明领导之下，如灵蛇般的敏锐睿智，灵活应变，坚定执着，勇往直前，在实现经济改革与推动国家发展的道路上，展开踏实坚定的步伐。同时呢，携手全民，共同书写更多辉煌的新篇章。我也衷心的祝愿在座的所有华裔及各族的同胞，在已逝12年里，步步高升，财源滚滚，事事顺意，阖家安康。谢谢大家。On this note, I wish everyone living success and good health in the year of snake. And thank you. Selamat Maju Jaya Malaysia Madani.
是的，感谢拿督吴益平的欢迎词。
Thank you, Datuk. Distinguished guests, it is now our great honor to invite Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri Anwar bin Ibrahim, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, to deliver his keynote address.
各位来宾，请以最热烈的掌声，恭请尊敬的马来西亚首相拿督斯里安华上台，为我们致辞。
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera pada hadirin yang dimuliakan. Rakan-rakan menteri, jemaah menteri, kalau sudah lihat banyak kehadiran ramai menteri ini menunjukkan keyakinannya kepada kumpulan perniagaan dan tahniah dari ACCCIM. Datuk Ibrahim, Presiden Gabungan Dewan Perniagaan dan Industri Cina Malaysia, Menteri dan juga Ketua Tinggi dan juga hadir yang juga menunjukkan bahawa negara-negara asing juga turut mengikuti perkembangan negara kita dan peranan ACCCIM selama ini yang membantu menjana pertumbuhan yang meyakinkan. Saya tentunya rasa gembira dan mewakili rakan-rakan Menteri hadir. Terima kasih atas kesudian untuk Ping dan Datuk Kuasa ACCCIM yang mengajukan majlis, dan tentu dalam majlis mengambil peluang untuk membukakan satu dua isu yang memaksa Perdana Menteri respon. Dan tetapi hari ini ada majlis Hari Raya Cina dan kita sambut meriah di merata pelosok negara ini, menunjukkan semangat perpaduan, persahabatan, dan dalam hampir semua majlis perayaan kita lihat walaupun tajaannya masyarakat Cina tapi sambutannya oleh semua kaum. Dan ini saya ucapkan satu tepatan kepada rakyat Malaysia yang berhati. Kewe Lai Bing, Tajia Hao. Saya Pulau Pinang dia tengok ni Pak Choi. Senang dalam hokian ni, kita besar dalam dunia hokian. Tapi kalau di Kuala Lumpur ni dia pesan saya bagi bahasa yang baik sikit. Jadi Sin Nian Kuai Le, Sin Nian Hao, Nian Nian Hao. Pagi tadi Kepala Yang Maha Mulia Tuan Agung merasmikan Parlimen dan membentangkan beberapa angka kekayaan kita dari sudut pertumbuhan ekonomi dan jumlah pelaburan yang meningkat, tumpuan semikonduktor, data center dan digital, AI, usaha-usaha kita dalam bidang transisi tenaga dari Pakar ke Pasir Gudang ke Sarawak, usaha-usaha CCS dengan minat yang bertambah. Dan semalam dalam perbincangan dengan Dr. Taksin yang saya latih sebagai penasihat kepada pengusi ASEAN, juga dihadiri oleh rakan saya mantan Menteri Singapura George Yu. Kita tumpu beberapa hal tuju penting bagi pandangan nasihat kepada saya bagaimana nak bawa ASEAN ke depan. Politiknya stabil, keadaan yang aman, hubungan dengan negara luar baik, ada yang lama dengan Amerika Syarikat, Eropah, dan berkembang pesat dengan China, peranan China yang lebih strategik dari segi geopolitik dan juga ekonomi. Tumpuan kepada isu tenaga, peralihan tenaga atau tenaga baru, termasuk yang disebut ASEAN Energy Grid dari negara dulunya Indochina ke Thailand, Malaysia, Singapura, ke Batam, Indonesia, dari Sarawak, Sabah ke selatan Filipina. Jadi tumpuan kita itu ialah menjadikan Malaysia pusat penting dan rantau ini dengan pelaburan yang sangat tinggi sekarang dalam bidang tenaga saja. Dan kemudian tentu kita bincang soal digital, masuk blockchain. Belum ada keputusan tamat, tapi Malaysia mesti bersedia berbincang dan pemimpin-pemimpin kabinet pemerintah mesti ambil sikap terbuka, mesti keluar daripada pemikiran kepompong lama. Apa sahaja yang mungkin yang boleh menjadikan Malaysia ini negara maju, tidak ketinggalan, kita mesti cari jalan. Dan seperti mana yang saya sering tekankan, kita tidak punya semua jawapan, maka kita harus memanfaatkan golongan akademik, pakar-pakar dulu, Dan yang penting, Datuk, seperti saya sebut, keperluan gabungan Dewan-Dewan Perniagaan Malaysia, Cina, Melayu, India, Sabah, Sarawak mendapatkan pandangan mereka bagaimana sebagai satu pasukan kita bekerja cari jalan untuk tingkatkan lagi. Mau jadi pemimpin yang berkesan, apalagi negara Malaysia yang berbagai rencam ini, kepentingan harus kita dengar, memanfaatkan pandangan-pandangan mereka. Jadi saya memberi jaminan kepada Tuan dan Datuk Kuasa, kita akan ambil serius pandai-pandai yang dikemukakan oleh semua sektor. Tentunya kita tidak boleh tinggalkan kelompok miskin, miskin bandar, petani, nelayan, peternak, kebun. Tapi untuk menjalankan pertumbuhan ekonomi yang lebih segar, peranan peniaga-peniaga, pengusaha dan Dewan-Dewan Perniagaan sangat penting. Jadi saya harap dengan kuasa induk yang cuba saya wujudkan dalam masa singkat, itu dapat penyertaan dan sumbangan yang lebih berkesan dari rakan-rakan. Now I'm stressing the importance of the entire team, the effort of political leaders, government ministers in particular, with the private sector, academicians, the professionals and experts in various fields, and clearly the chamber and your team has an important role to give your views because of the not only the uncertainties but to ensure that we become the dynamo to propel the economy, attract investments, and ensure that we give our best. These adjustments are necessary. Well, they say because of the recent pronouncements by President Donald Trump, not necessarily so. In the economic term, there's always phases where there is this necessity to undertake some measures, changes, new technology. The AI dictate and demand us to make major adjustments in the entire system, education. Now we talk about data center and AI, slow change in education, nothing in the public health sector, or no new incentives to allow them, to allow Malaysia to become more attractive as a investment destination, that it will not work. So it is more a systemic approach that requires the thinking, the expertise, the input of all. So what I'm trying to suggest is to appeal to all to give your best, because this is an opportunity. It's not always that political leadership takes a very open, liberal view to accept, to learn from one another, and to be considered to be part of this big team. And geopolitical conditions other than AI, again, dictate us to make the necessary adjustments. I've always felt we must start at home, which means the political system, the issue of governance, all that need to be done to ensure that we are efficient, we have clarity and correct policies, we have to do. You don't talk about problems outside. There are some issues that is beyond us, are somewhat unsurmountable, not within our means and capacity. But there are. What are those? The correct policy prescriptions. Are we making the right emphasis, focus on energy transition? Are we taking major measures to ensure that the digital transformation is working? Is AI going to give us the benefit And are we prepared in terms of our educational strategy, our focus, our disbursements of funds, our training, that can make us really an effective nation in terms of utilizing this new technology? Well, these are all issues that we need to hear, and then at a fast pace, take it up and make the necessary change. We don't have the luxury of time. We are not living in the 60s or 70s. And geopolitical dictates are sometimes beyond us. But the domestic policies in economy can be our major focus. I'm not saying that we can act independently, oblivious to the changes, no. But there are areas that we need to improve, including our level of efficiency, the fast track of approvals, cleaning up the mess, ridding the country of corruption and these abuses of commissions, making sure that decisions are made transparently. These things are within our means, and it takes the effort, the resolve of all of us. And that's why I'm suggesting again, both bureaucrats and the business community and the academia, together with political leaders, to consider ourselves this new team of making this major breakthrough to ensure that Malaysia emerge as a very important economy, although within our means, accepting the fact that we are, relatively small country. But we have that capacity. I was very pleased, for example, with the exchanges that we have. We continue. With China, is of course excellent. Even with the United States, we will continue to engage. Contrary to some views, they are not. No, we are ambassadors here. And in Europe, it was exceptional reception that we received. They agreed to proceed with this fast-track FTA with the EU, which was certainly out of question in the last few years. With the UK, we had an excellent meeting with Prime Minister Stem, concluded FTA with the UK, which means that their investments here, our investment there, will benefit immensely through this sort of facilitation by the trade agreements. That we will do, and we will continue to do. And Datuk mentioned the idea that we promoted to have ASEAN GCC with Chinese presence, and we are now thinking of opening up to allow participation of other countries, and including the United States, the European Union. But the focus is, of course, the region. The region means ASEAN and our neighbors. And because of the reception and the friendship shown by China, we are reciprocating as great, trusted friends. You have seen, for example, the visit by Premier Lee Chan and the commitment that they gave. Of course, we as a nation would welcome that. And I must thank again the ACCCIM for all your support, Mr. Lok, then Tan Sri, that's salah sebut marah, for making sure that the visit was a success. I remember meeting him afterwards, and he tended to remind me, says, Prime Minister Anwar, I'm so pleased with the visit, and I think it was a great visit, and the friendship showed by Malaysians. It's something that's close to my heart. In fact, he told me that I even shared this with my wife and my daughter, which is rare for leaders to share unless they really feel that it was really a successful and great visit. I mean, this is done successfully because not only government efforts, thank you, my cabinet minister did their best, and the government servants or bureaucrats did their best, but because of the commitment and support by the chamber. So, saya again. You do a bit more. It's not always the Prime Minister can praise you, so you better make sure that you do a bit more. Okay. Now, you raised 2 points, but I think there is some confusion. The first is on the issue of CPT, the transfer, the electricity rate. It's not 2%, no. You know, the 6-month review is based on the current price. So I do think it would be, to a large extent, cumbersome or disadvantage to the public. So we're prepared to listen. The decision is to make something which needs to be done because prices has to rise according to the capacity of the price at a particular period, but certainly it's not to be. That's why I just checked with Zafur in case I get the facts wrong. Certainly it's not the case. I think there was some confusion because the way the announcements were made. But this was corrected. It is not the case. Slight increase, okay. I mean, don't skip by a skip. Otherwise, how do I improve the education quality? How do I help the poor? How do I improve the roads? How do I then improve the medical faculties, medical services through some minor tax to companies? Small, don't worry. Okay. The other thing is about the levy. The foreign worker levy must be done, but there was some confusion that it's going to be cumulative to the forward. No. So we kept it at 2%, which is very, very minimal. Well, the initial proposal was 12, and the cabinet did consider the appeal by the chambers. So we just kept it at 2, and we will stay on some time until things are much better. Then to earn and Asilo register hundreds of millions or billions of profit, then we will increase to 4. But for now, we keep it at 2, and let us move with that sort of a decision. There's no worry about having it cumulative. Unless Stephen Sim feels strongly to increase it, otherwise we'll keep it at that rate first. But I must appeal to you also because the demands are more. For example, education. As you know, I've been talking about digital energy transformation. If we don't have new faculties, new training, and they require enormous sums of money. You see in the past United States or Europe or China, what they have done. Focusing on these centers of excellence. That requires not only government funds, but also huge private sector investment. But I agree with you, whatever is necessary need to be done to facilitate business, including SMEs, will do our best. So sekali lagi saya ucap terima kasih. Saya tak mau lebih dari itu, kalau tak approve kan dia tak boleh makan. Jadi saya ucap terima kasih. I mean, you have been very helpful. Siap.
Thank you, Yang Ahmad.
是的，感谢马来西亚首相达杜斯里安华的致辞。接下来，请各位尽情享受大会准备的佳肴。与此同时，也请大家一起欣赏由艺文音乐乐队呈现的精彩表演。
We now invite our guests to enjoy the festive lunch that we prepared. Meanwhile, we have a performance presented by Dewan Music Entertainment. Thank you.
ada manusia dia pakai kena game aku. Kena. Sikit tadi tu. Aku bawa dia hancur. Kalau aku pakai wild sound. Macam ada tu. Terletup. Sebelum tu okey je.